Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my top 20 favorite cool toned neutral lipsticks. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today we are going to be doing a video where I'm going to be swatching 20 lip products for you that all fall within the cool neutral sort of realm. Some of these are going to be more cool toned than others, which I will explain in a second why that might be. And I'm just going to be swatching them all for you on the back of my hand as well as on my lips. Today is a very warm day here in the Netherlands, so if I seem a little bit sweaty with the studio lighting, it is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is roughly like 30 whatever degrees Celsius. It's a really hot day, so, but yeah, I hadn't filmed a video yet to go up today, so I was like, might as well do it because I do feel like filming, so let's get to it. So as I mentioned, 20 products that fall within the cool nude sort of category and that I feel work really well on me. These are all things that I have in my collection, and this is an update from the video that I did last year. Last year I did a video where I shared some of my favorite cool nude lipsticks, and I got a lot of comments on that video saying those don't look cool toned. There are a couple of things you need to take into account when looking at the swatches and what things look like on my lips. I am someone with fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, meaning that if something looks cool toned on a warm skin tone, it can actually look orange on me, even though a brand will sell it as a cool tone. So there's that. People were commenting on maybe it's your lighting. It's not. I have these lights set to be as representative of the color, the way I see it in real life, as I can possibly see it. So there's nothing wrong there. If you think that at this, like in the process of this video, some of these options don't look very cool toned, know that I'm trying to also recommend an array of things. I want to recommend things for people who may have a warm undertone, who want to try cool tones, but I also want there to be things in here that will work if you have a very cool undertone yourself. So I'm going to try and have a spectrum of options here, and because I will be swatching all of these very similar colors side by side on the back of my hand, color is relative, people. There's no there's no such thing as an absolute cool tone. When you put a lot of shades together, they're very similar. Things are going to look more or less cool toned because so many of them look alike. So I just wanted to point that out there in case you're wondering, but these are just 20 of the lip products. It includes gloss, lip liners, lipsticks, high-end, drugstore, the whole 9 yards. So let's get to it and start swatching these products. More than half of the options I have for you in this video are from the drugstore, so I'll make sure to list those towards the end of the video. We're going to start off with the high-end things. With the high-end brands, I find they're not as good as doing cool tone lip products as the drugstore is. There are just more options in my personal makeup collection that I feel are cool toned that fall more so within the more affordable range, you could say. But I have a couple of really, really good cool tone neutral lipsticks from higher end brands. One of the most luxurious brands I have is Victoria Beckham Beauty. I think this shade was sent to me in PR if I'm correctly, and this is the shade Jump. And this is really, really beautiful. This is something I showed you in last year's video as well. So we're sticking to my guns here, an old favorite, and this looks really, really pretty. So here is what the swatch looks like. It's got a little bit of a hint of plum, and a lot of the things I have for you here are going to be pinky, mauvey sort of neutrals, because that's what I just enjoy the most. And I feel that that works best with my natural lip color. I've got naturally quite pigmented lips, so even if a lipstick has a hint of warmth, because my natural lip pigment is quite purpley to begin with, I kind of neutralize and make lipsticks look more cool toned because I have such a purpliness in my lips naturally. So it always shines through, especially if something is a bit more sheer. But this is really pretty. It's a cream formula with very nourishing ingredients, and it has decent pigmentation. Like, it's not the most pigmented lipstick on the market for sure, but these are super comfortable. And here is what Jump looks like by Victoria Beckham. It's a really beautiful one. There's a reason why I kept this one around. The other two shades I had from the brand in this formula I liked as well, but they were very similar to other things I already had. But this one was still very unique in my collection, so that's why it got to stay. New, but I feel in a similar vein, and I have just found out that these lipsticks go for about as much as 50 euros by now. I don't think I paid that much. I think I had a gift voucher. But it's the YSL Love Shine lipsticks. At least that's what they're called. Yeah. And this is in the shade 203. I don't remember the shade name exactly. I wish YSL would put the shade name on the actual bullet so you know. And this is a little bit more warm toned, but I thought this was a beautiful product. And this is a little bit more sheer, a little bit more balmy, you could say. So here is what the YSL looks like. So going on, this is a very smooth formula. This is really nice. If you struggle with, you know, lipsticks like pulling into the lines of your lips, if you want something that makes it look super smooth, then this is that. It has a very balmy texture. I think you can build this up in pigment, but I also feel that this formula is creamy enough where if you build it up too much, it could slip and slide around. This is definitely meant to give you like a sheer wash of color on your lips and a lot of shine. So it's sort of like if you turned a lip gloss into a solid formula and you put it into a stick, this is what you would get. So here is what the Love Shine looks like from YSL in shade 203. It's one of my new favorites. It's something I invested in last year. I wasn't initially interested in the drop, but then I was like just browsing in store. I found that shade and I knew it had to go onto a wish list because this is exactly my lips, but better. Next up is one of my favorite lipstick brands, but sadly there aren't that many good cool tones in the line. But one that is good, that is a good cool tone, that is a bit more pink for it to really be a nude on me, but I think it can be a nude on other people, is Velvet Beauty from Lisa Eldridge. And I have actually been wearing this a lot more lately because I have been loving this sort of like purpley, pinky, magenta shade. So that's why I'm saying this. Is this a nude? I'm not entirely sure. It's perhaps a little bit too pink compared to some of the other things I'm showing you, but for some people, pinks can be nudes, and I have been wearing it as such. So that's why I had to feature it here. So the Velvet Mattes are a matte formula. They go on flat, but they're also super creamy at the same time. So that's why I enjoy them. Because these are really comfortable to wear, which is why I have every single shade that has ever come out. And I have videos up on the channel where you can see all of the swatches with these. So if you want to see what the entire Lisa Eldridge True Velvet range looks like, I'll make sure to give it a quick link in the description box. But here's what Velvet Beauty looks like on me. As you can see, compared to the other two options I've swatched for you, this looks incredibly pink. And I think that's why I wasn't wearing it a lot initially, because it looks so pink and it definitely falls into the pink spectrum of what the Lisa Eldridge line has to offer. It doesn't really go with any of the nudes. But then when I put it on, like I'm wearing a pretty sort of like purpley, cooler tone look today as well. And I think it goes with it really well. Like I would wear this to work in a heartbeat. And it's not overly pink, you know? I feel like there's a mutedness to the color, and that's why I really enjoy it. So this is really pretty. If you were looking for a cool tone in the Lisa Eldridge range that could work as a nude on you, this could be an option, but I feel it's like the only cool tone lipstick in the entire True Velvet range that may be something that turns people off from buying the lipsticks if you were looking for only cool tone lipsticks. The next up is a gloss, and this has been a favorite for years. I'm not wearing it a lot lately because I have been trying to use up some other glosses because they're part of my these are products I would like to use up in 2025 sort of project that I'm throwing into my Shop My Stashes. But this is the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss Balm in the shade Mauve Wives. Fenty Beauty and lip products are a match made in heaven, and this shade especially I think is really excellent. In the video I did last year, I didn't include glosses because I did glosses separately in a different video, but I decluttered so many products in March that I feel I sort of now have, I just don't have enough product for it to be a dedicated lip gloss video, because I declutter most of my glosses because I tend to wear the same 3 glosses every single day anyway. So this is a good one. It's a really solid option, and it's a beautiful purpley mauve tone shade. And here's what the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss Bomb in Mauve Wives looks like on me. I feel it's a little bit more muted compared to the other things. Like, it looks a little bit more intense because of the shine and the pigmentation it has compared to the other 2 options. But because it has this really pretty purple to it, I really feel it kind of tones down the look of my lips. It has a really nice little bit of shine to it that adds to it as well, especially in these bright studio lights. But this is a beautiful little lip product, and I feel that nobody talks about it anymore. Also because Fenty has been coming out with so many other lip products lately, and I think that those are really good as well. I only picked up a couple of them recently. I got one of the oils and one of the Gloss Bomb stick things with the shimmers. I still have to try those out though, so not sure whether I could feature them in these videos, but this is another solid pick from Fenty. And then we're getting into my favorite brand of high-end lipstick that does good cool tones, and that would be MAC. However, it's not going to feature any of the obvious cool tone things. There was, of course, this entire like hype at the start of the year with MAC releasing these 90s inspired cool tone lipsticks. I've got a couple of them. I have Stone Lipstick, I have Cool Teddy, and I have Cool Spice Lip Liner, and I bought Folio hoping that these would be nice. They look good on me. They are really good things, but they don't look cool toned on me. So that's why they're not featured here, but these are my picks if you're looking for a cool tone within the MAC lipstick range. And the first thing I need to show you is this pairing. I discovered this recently and I've been wearing it loads, and I'm still loving it. It's Grayish lip liner with pink peppermint lipstick. So I'll make sure to leave a little bit of space after I apply the lip liner so you can actually see what the lipstick looks like on my lips, but that's grayish. And then if I swatch pink peppermint, like this looks like it's not gonna look good on you. It's this very pale, white-based, blue pinky shade. It's essentially Barbie pink. And then you're probably wondering, Micah, how can that be a neutral? Because of grayish. By itself, I can't wear this because it's too light for me. But with a bit of grayish, it transforms. So I can't do lip liner and talk at the same time, I'm afraid. See? So that is just grayish by itself. And I feel that because of grayish being this grayish brown tone, and it's got a bit of green running through it in some lighting, I feel it neutralizes this a little bit more and it makes it so much more wearable than if I were to wear this by itself. So let me top it up with pink peppermint. And then you can see if I put it just in the middle of my lips, it doesn't look great, but here we go. And here's what it looks like when I top it with pink peppermint. And then I feel I get as much of a nude, like a true nude, that works for me. This doesn't make my face look dead. It doesn't make me look too sort of like, bleh. It's still sort of, because it is a very light lipstick, is going to sort of like recess my lips. It doesn't make it stand out as much, which I feel is almost like the aim of a nude lipstick sometimes. So this is a combo that I have found recently that I have just been loving for the moments where I do want to have a more neutral lip that is more cool tone leaning. This is a great combo. And the other 2 lipsticks I have for you, I'm just going to show them really quickly. Twig was already in last year's video, and here's what Twig looks like. Twig does have a little bit of brown, so that can look a little bit more warm toned, but on me it pulls plum. It's one of those weird ones, you know, where you have to try it. And in my video last year, a lot of people were saying, don't you have Brave if you love cool tones? Here's the thing. I went out and bought it after that video because mine had expired. I used to own this shade, but it no longer worked for me because the lipstick was just bad. So now I have them again and I'm very happy. Brave is a little bit more pink. I wear Twig a little bit more, like I mentioned at the start of the video. I like having a little bit of warmth in my neutral lipsticks because I kind of feel my natural lip color minimizes the warmth. But here is Twig and here is Brave, in case you were wondering. So I feel like essentially Twig is the deeper version of Brave to an extent, but I feel Twig has more purple to it than Twig does. Brave does. Brave has more blue, and Twig leans more purple, at least on me. So let me put on Twig first so we can really see the difference. Here's what Twig looks like. Great neutral. Like I said, it's not fully 100% cool toned, I think, for most people, because it does have a little bit of warmth in it. But this, I feel, if you want to try a cool tone and you have a slightly warm undertone, then something like this might be nice. And I've been wearing this one loads. This is in regular rotation if you've been watching my Shop My Stashes. And that's what Brave looks like. It's pretty, but I would wear, like, if I want to go for something that's a little bit more pink, I would go with Velvet Beauty because it has more purple for it on me than I feel this one does. Like, this looks too pink sometimes if I want to go for that neutral vibe. But I can definitely work as a more neutral shade on other people, so that's why I wanted to feature it here. But yeah, I'm really happy to have Brave in my life yet again. So next up, we have the affordable category. These are the things that I feel work much better, and these lines have much better cool tones than some of the other things I've just shown you. One of my favorites, we all know it, Kiko. Kiko Milano. If you're looking for cool tone lip products, then Kiko is your jam. They do cool tone nudes in every line of lipstick they do, and they have a lot. Again, this is a video I did in January. I filmed a video where I tried every single formula that Kiko Milano does. So if you want an overview of what all of those formulas are and see a lot of cool toned options in that video, then I will make sure to link you to that over there as well. But one of my favorite products from Kiko is their 3D Hydra lip glosses. Shade 35 is a creamy, like, I feel it's like a dupe for the Fenty Beauty almost. It's a gloss. This again has a little bit of warmth, but I feel it has enough purple as well where I can like get away with it, so it looks more neutral. So again, is this going to be super cool toned for you if you have a super cool undertone? Maybe not, but this is again for people who perhaps want to try something that could lean a little bit more cool tone than them if they have a warm skin tone themselves. And here is what that shade looks like on me by Kiko Milano. I feel this is a really good neutral on me. Like a good nude smack in the middle. My lips are better. It starts off looking a little bit of brown, but oddly enough, once I sheer it out and my natural lip color shines through just a little bit, I feel it doesn't look like this at all. Like it looks like a brown pink here, but on my lips it doesn't. So I'm happy with that. Shall we stick to the Kiko stuff for a minute? I also have one of their lip liners here, which I want to pair with one of their Smart Fusion lipsticks. This is a lipstick I pulled from my Declutter because it has a really pretty cool tone pink shade. And this is the most affordable thing that Kiko has on offer. These are like €5 or something. It's insane, and I'm going to be pairing it with one of my favorite lip liners at the drugstore price point, which is the Creamy Color Lip Liner from Kiko Milano in shade 23. And you know you need to sharpen your lip pencil when it looks like this. It's such a small nib by now, but oh well. And it's a really, really beautiful sort of like cooler tone mauve shade. It's so pretty. And I thought these could work well together because the lipstick is very, very light. I mean, Pink Peppermint is right here, and this is the Kiko lipstick. So it has a similar level of like lightness to it. This is perhaps a little bit more blue pinky, but I think this is going to neutralize it. So let me line my lips with the lip liner and then put the lipstick on top. So that's my lips with the lip liner. If you're wondering, Micah, I can't see that on your lips. That's because it's exactly my shade of, like exactly the shade of my lips. Let's top the lipstick on top. So if you want that pink peppermint vibe, maybe try out this one. This is the Smart Fusion in 458. I'm not sure if I mentioned the shade name yet here, but that's what that looks like. I feel this is very close to the MAC lipstick. It just has less of a white base, I feel, but it can definitely give you that similar sort of vibe. So this is a really pretty, very cool tone, blue leaning pink that is going to look neutral on a lot of people with cool skin tones, I think. And then we get to my favorite Kiko lipsticks, the Powder Power lipsticks and the Velvet Passion lipsticks. The Powder Power, dupe for the MAC Powder Kiss. The Velvet Passion, True Velvet Lisa Eldridge. They are almost point for point formula dupes for those two brands. If you're looking for instance, shade dupes for Lisa Eldridge, definitely check out the Kiko Velvet Passions because they are very close indeed. But here's the Powder Power lipstick in shade 24, which looks like this. This is really beautiful, and this is what I mean with Kiko just sort of like being the king of cool toned, like neutral lipsticks, because this is so pretty on. It has this very sheer, buildable formula. And it, again, like the gloss, it starts looking a little bit brown. But then when I feel I have applied it, it doesn't look as brown tone anymore. So maybe that's my natural lip pigment, but it could also just be the lipstick doesn't pull as warm toned once it goes on as it does on the back of your hand. On the back of your hand, like your lips are not the same color as the back of your hand. If you don't want to swatch things on your lips, you're in a store or whatever, use your fingertip if you want to know what, like that gets closer to what things look like on your lips than the back of your hand, just so you know. Shade 24 from the Powder Power is really pretty. And then the Velvet Passion, this is shade 315, which is literally just called Mauve, which I'm going to swatch next to the other Kiko shade. So here is the Powder Power and here's the Velvet Passion. So if you are someone who has very cool toned skin, I would say try the Velvet Passion over the Powder Power because this has so much more blue in it. It's more of a pinky tone, but it's so beautiful on. Let me show you. So here I feel we have a really good option if you want something that again has that purpley pinkness to it, but that could be a nude if you have the right undertone. That's the way I feel about this. On me, it looks very neutral. It doesn't look overly pink, whereas if you compare it to the other shade I swatched it next to, you may expect that. I think that that goes for a lot of these shades here. They can look really pink in the bullet or in a swatch on the back of your hand, but then on your lips, it's really not that bad. Like, it's not that like boom kapow, I'm wearing a pink lipstick kind of vibe. Sort of like there's something there, there's color, it adds interest as well, but it doesn't take away from the eye look I'm wearing or the rest. It really ties everything together. And that for me is the role of a good nude lipstick. I don't need it to like block out my lips or anything like that. That's not the aim. I just want it to make my entire makeup look very cohesive if I wear a nude lipstick. Where to next? I think we're gonna do some one-offs. I have this Kaleidos lip gloss. This is in the shade Last Smoke, and I think this was in my video last year as well, when I showed you cool tone lip glosses. Cool tones don't have to be pinks or purples. They can also be gray leaning, and that's what this one does. I'll swatch it here, because this is quite possibly one of the outliers of this video. It's very different from anything else I have. It's like this browny, gray, purpley. Last Smoke is the perfect name for this product. They still sell these, and I love the packaging of this, and it's a really excellent gloss formula as well. One of the reasons why I sometimes do these videos is to remind myself of the beautiful products that I have in my collection, because I put this on and I'm like, why am I not wearing you more? This is so, so beautiful. The shine, the color, the level of purpliness, but then it has that gray cast. It's so, so excellent. And yet, even though it looks like a shade that's going to be very out there and different, I feel that once it's on the lips, it just, again, it ties the entire look together, which is an excellent cool tone neutral in my book. Another product I feel I just need to use more, and that's why I threw it in the video, but I love these little glosses from Fui. So I also put some Kbeauty stuff in here because I think that's great. This is the 3D voluming gloss in the shade Current, 30%. So one of the things I love about this product is that it comes in 30% and 70%. I have this in the 70% as well, then it has more pigmentation. So if you have a deeper skin tone, or if you just want more oomph out of your lip product, then you can. But if you want to go something, you know, a little sheer, then that's a possibility as well. And it looks very purpley in the tube, but look at how pretty that is. It's a very pretty sort of like pinky, purpley, peachy sort of shade. Definitely has a hint of warmth, and it does have a very strong scent. If you like your fruity scents, you're gonna love this, but yeah. I really enjoy this gloss. Again, it just adds a sheer amount of color. This Fui gloss, I swatched it right there. Really beautiful on the lips. And again, it just adds color, but without it overpowering the rest of your face. That's why I went with the 30% in this video and not the 70% one. Then we have Catrice. This is the Scandalous Matte in 060. This is Good Intentions. And this is one that I had almost forgotten about that I owned it, but then I realized, oh yeah, that's a good one as well. So this lipstick is again one of those lipsticks that looks a little bit more pink, but that actually looks really natural on. It's why I kept it around. Catrice has a tendency to discontinue a lot of their lip products really quickly, but for some reason the Scandalous Matte range has been around for a while, and I hope they keep it around because this is again a very thin formula. It is a matte texture, but therefore it's very long wearing, and I love wearing some of these shades. 080 in this line is a long-standing favorite for a lot of reasons, but that's a bright purple, so that's why it's not featured here. So here's the Catrice, depending on what you have access to, whether you have access to Kiko, whether you have access to Catrice. I think this does a very similar thing to the 315 shade from Kiko Milano that I showed you before. It has this lighter, sort of purpley pink sort of vibe. Whereas, like, if I look at this on the back of my hand, I feel like it looks like a medium pink that even has a little bit of peach. And then I put it on my lips and I'm like, I can see the blue coming through. So there's definitely that. Next up are two shades by Revlon. And the two shades by Revlon I have are from their cream range, and it's Sassy Mauve and Laid Back Lilac. And Sassy Mauve actually was a recommendation from one of you guys on my video last year. Revlon, however, over here in the Netherlands, very hard to find. So I think I bought it. Now, I bought some Revlon shades in London last year, loved the formula, and then I picked this one up from Zalando because I was looking for this shade, and they had it in stores, but all the testers and everything, it was all so gross looking. So I couldn't find this exact shade when I was in London last year, so I had to order it online because Zalando does ship to the Netherlands, and they did have them. So here is what Sassy Mauve looks like. But then some other people were saying, I love Laid Back Lilac. And I think this is more like of a nude for me, actually. I feel Sassy Mauve is again, like here's Sassy Mauve and this is Laid Back Lilac. I like both of them a lot. I feel like Laid Back Lilac and Sassy Mauve fit into a same part of my brain as Twig and Brave do from MAC that I showed you earlier on, where Sassy Mauve is like the darker, slightly more sophisticated sister of Laid Back Lilac. That's how I feel about it. Like, this is a bit deeper. Laid Back Lilac is a little bit softer and a bit more neutral, I feel, for most people if you have my skin tone. Here is Sassy Mauve, which looks absolutely beautiful on me. It's perhaps a little bit more pink, so again, it kind of fits into the same category as the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Beauty lipstick that I showed you in this video, where it's perhaps a bit more pink than you would normally go for when you think of a nude, at least I do. But again, it ties the whole thing together, and it adds enough color to my face. Sometimes I feel if lipsticks get too light, because I'm already so pale, it can just make me look a little sickly if I don't wear anything else on my lips. So let me show you Laid Back Lilac. This is Laid Back Lilac, and I've only had this for about a month because I couldn't find it anywhere else. But then I was in Boots in London last month, and I stumbled upon it randomly, and it had been on my wish list ever since Lorraine had recommended it to me as possibly a good neutral, and it ticks all the boxes. It's neutral. It's got a hint of purple. It's got a hint of pink. and it adds color to my face, but again, in a slightly different way, I feel, than Sassy Mauve does. So depending on whether you want to go for something more pink or whether you want to go for something more purple, I think you might like either one of these. And again, if you are in a different country than the Netherlands, then like the UK and US, I know Revlon is pretty easy to get. So that way, I hope you know Catrice for my European people, and then Revlon for the US-based people. Like, I try to always have a mix of brands, you guys, also depending on availability. Not just price point, but also because I know a lot of people from around the world watch my videos. So depending on where you're at, you can find something in this video that might work for you. And last but not least, we need to talk liquid lipsticks and lip stains. There are loads out there. I have decluttered most of my liquid lipsticks, but the Kaleidos Cloud Play Lip Clays, that's what they're called, I believe. This is in the shade Mercury Wave. This is in the same vein as Last Smoke in the gloss version, but this is like a purpley gray, whereas Last Smoke is more of like a brownie gray, you could say. So this I really like for that reason. Again, is this a neutral? Not for everyone, but like I said, I want to make this video as inclusive as I possibly can. This, on darker skin tones, it's going to be gorgeous. So on me, this is going to look like full throttle whatever. If I tone it down, I can definitely make it more wearable as a nude, but if you have deep skin and you want something that's incredibly cool toned, this is for you. So I've applied it full on. Like I said, this isn't going to be a nude on me, but if you have much darker skin than I do, like a deep skin tone is going to rock this for sure. So yeah, on me, this isn't a nude. I have to take like half of this off for it to go that way and use a bit of liner, and that way I can correct it. So let me see if I can show you that. So all I've done is taken most of it off, and I've blotted it down a lot, and I've just smudged it in a little bit with my finger, and now it looks a lot more wearable. I feel I need a little bit extra. Wait, hold on. That's one of the things that I like about these lip clays from Kaleidos, that they're very malleable. Like, you can keep playing with these and like build up intensity. You can mix colors and all that. So it's a very sort of like, if you're more of the creative type, you could say, then I think this is a lip formula that's very overlooked. But see, I can pull it off. I can make it look more neutral, and it is a gray tone purple. And I'm wearing gray tones and purples on my eyes today, so this is actually a look. I like it. I would need a different outfit though. The black top doesn't go. And finally, the Romand. This is the Juicy Lasting Tint in Oud Grape. Romand did an entire update of a lot of their really popular lip stains last year, where they came out with so many good cool tone shades. I'm just showing you one. I sometimes do videos where I swatch lip stains back to back, and my lips hate me for a week after. So since I don't want to put myself through something like that again, I'm only showing you one shade. But I did a video last year where I swatched a lot of these when I first had them in. So I'll make sure to link you to that video down below again so you can see. And also, I used to have an entire array of these Kaleidos lip clays. I did a video with that as well. And I think I did a video with drugstore favorite lipsticks in May. So I can link you to that as well if you want more drugstore content. But this little Romand thing, one of the reasons why I love lip stains is because they last all day and they're very forgiving. And this shade, I know people say not to press your lips together, but I cannot apply lipstick in any other way. And the thing I find so odd with this shade is that it goes on super light at first, but when it sits on my skin and it has fully built up, I feel I can get this really nice purpley pink, again, more neutral, sort of my lips but better kind of shade. These smell really fruity though, so if that's not your cup of tea, you may not like that. Did I already swatch it on the back of my hand? I did not. What a crime. What a crime. So this has to be in a slightly awkward place because I put it on my thumb right there. But there is the Romand, and here is what she looks like on my lips. I really love these products. I think Kbeauty lip stains are so incredibly underrated. We need more people raving about those products because they do some really nice things. If you want something that's long wearing, thin, and sort of like kiss proof, eat proof, and that lasts all day, then lip stains are just your go-to. They're some of the best liquefied lip products on the market today without the heaviness of a traditional liquid lipstick, which I really enjoy. So I cannot get enough of Kbeauty lip stains, and the juicy lasting tints, that's one of my favorite formulas. So let me do a little overview of all of these swatches here on the back of my hand. These are all 20 shades of lipstick that I swatch for you today. And I really hope this video was helpful. If you were looking for a good cool toned lipstick, that there was something in here that is going to be helpful for you. And then I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for more, and then I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye-bye.